What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to CFL Central, CFL content for the fans, by the fans. Now, today is going to be our Week 5 reviews for the CFL's 2022 season. Only 3 games on the schedule this week, but honestly, there were pretty damn good 3 games of football.
Yeah.
Carter,
One of the best weeks we've had.
honestly, I think this was the best week, and it's ironic, like I said, because only 3 games, and it's definitely the best quality of football we've seen. So maybe learn something CFL, but I also love more games, so give me more teams and games. Nonetheless, though, how are you feeling about that Calgary game against Edmonton? Because I took Edmonton. I look like a complete chump. They lost 49-6. Just yikes, man. Like, this game was ugly. I'll admit it right now. I had more faith in the Elks than I should have, apparently, and I'm not going to be doing it again. Trust me. Calgary dominated. What happened?
To be honest, I think if you watch this game, I think this is actually less about a game about Edmonton and more of a game about Calgary, as I think Calgary sees that they're going to be playing the Bombers the following week in the schedule, and so they really got to get everything going and get everything set together to go into that game, because obviously, if the Bombers when they were thinking prior to their game, if the Bombers had beat the Lions, then the Bombers would be, top of the hill, in which they would then want to rise above that. So I think this was Calgary in a preparation for a game against Winnipeg, and I think this is really why they were able to get everything together to the point where they beat the Elks 49-6. And now it's kind of crazy to think that it has been a long time. Do you know how long it is? It has officially now been over 1,000 days since the Elks have won a game at home. They have not won a single home game as the Elks. The last time they won, they were called the Eskimos. So it has been a long, long time since Edmonton has won a game at home. And, that, honestly, that, if anything, that just makes me feel really bad for, my friends who are Elks fans, who, you deserve to see your team win, at least in front. But it's kind of interesting because this game started really, really close at the start. It was, 3-3 after the first. And then at this point, this is when Calgary really starts to take control. They would get 11 in that second quarter, come back third quarter. At this point, if you're the Elks, you really hope for them to have really bounced back after that. And they did everything but that. They had 21 points put straight past them in the third quarter. So yikes! You never want to let in 21 points against you. You
don't want to let 21 points in a half, let alone a quarter. Like,
we'll get back to that later. Giving up 21 points in a quarter. But yeah, so this was a blowout, and this would be Nick Arbuckle's final game as an Elk, as he would then get traded to the Red Blacks. What a poor game as that. He would average less than 5 yards.
Ooh.
That's per play, and that's brutal.
That is bad.
With 2 interceptions.
Yeah, and the only good thing about that game, quarterback-wise, until he got injured, was Trey Ford, obviously, with that 46 long bomb, and then he got injured. So not a lot of hope right now in Elkland. We are sorry for your loss. All right, let's move on to the next one, the game that everyone wants to talk about, and not because of the events that happened in the game and how good it was, because of what happened after and because of a certain injury. Carter, this was ugly. So this is not a good look for the league.
But it's not a good look for the league, and it's interesting to now see the response that has come from this. So as of the recording of this video, Garrett Marino has been suspended 4 games for his play. And for those not aware of what happened, Garrett Marino, after Mazzoli had thrown the ball away, play is long away from the quarterback here, takes a cheap shot right at the knees, looking like a hyperextension injury to Jeremiah Mazzoli in the injuries. I have had a hyperextension injury myself. They are not nice, and his looks much worse than the one I had. So I think Jeremiah Mazzoli, without question, is going to need surgery, and he's probably going to be out the rest of the season. And if he comes back, it's very late, at the point in which the Red Black season might be already down in the tubes by then anyway.
Exactly.
So, I mean, this was an ugly play. Game. Now, one thing and since then, he has actually been cut from the team because of this. The Riders have said that we want no part in this. And so he is off the team for this play, as the coach
never to play
has made
again in the CFL, probably.
I can't see anyone signing him. Just because, I mean, it's kind of interesting because it seems like everyone universally agrees that this was a dirty garbage play that has no place in the CFL. He got booed out of Mosaic Field by his own
Yep.
fans. He is celebrating that he just injured a player, which is just completely classless. And then even after that, there was a post-game press conference with their coach in which he just completely ripped into it, saying, "That's not how we play football. That has no place here." And we'll see what disciplinary action is needed. And that disciplinary action was him off the team. So, sadly, this taints the win for sure. As the coach mentioned, this taints the win over the Red
Rub
Blacks.
salt
However,
in
at
the
this
wound
point,
too.
the game was already. The Riders had won this game cleanly. Just the very end of it was just an ugly stain on what was a good game of football.
Yeah, absolutely. And we said good game, even though the score was 28-13. But yeah, it's just a really, we're talking about how great this week was, and this is a good example of it because this was a good game, and it got muddied in the waters by all the events that happened at the end of it, and then also with the media, the player interviews, everything else going around the league, the suspension
Absolutely.
news. It created a buzz around the league that you don't want, especially in a league that's small like the
Absolutely.
CFL.
Yeah.
So definitely dominated the news over the weekend, but nonetheless,
Yeah. And one more thing
fair
about that,
punishment.
for those wanting to hear a little bit more about the Mazzoli injury and the aftermath of that, make sure I made a video here on CFL Central. Make sure to check out the video on Nick Arbuckle getting
Go check it
traded
out. Go give
to
Carter
the
some
Red
love.
Blacks. Absolutely.
All right. Well,
So I think, Jake, I'll let you get into the Lions versus Bomber game, the game of the year so far.
without a doubt, and it was not a letdown. This game, very entertaining from start to finish, literally from start to finish, because of that amazing kick return there to start the game, touchdown for the Bombers. This game was just insane. I was at this game as I usually have. Actually, to be honest with you, ladies and gentlemen, this entire season I've been at every Lions home game just because it's just the way it's happened so far. It probably won't continue, but I've witnessed some pretty damn great football in the building, even though they lost this one by a score of 43-22. Bombers take it on the away team victory. This game was crazy. You had 21 points being scored by the Bombers. Everyone thinking BC is done right there. And then what happens? BC puts 14 up in the second. Oh, might be getting something going. Bombers still put up 6 points in that second quarter. And that first half is just some of the best football we've seen because the Lions are making mistakes, but they're still charging down the field right. What really killed the Lions this game was something that me and Carter was going to be the kryptonite of the Bombers. The defense. The defense tonight reached level, not tonight, but the night of that game, reached levels we hadn't seen yet in this season. The Bombers, they were just incredible on defense that night, that game, and it's the reason why the Lions lost, because look at the box score. You see what Nathan Rourke threw for.
This was 100% 2021 Bomber defense.
Absolutely.
Every bit of that was. And it wasn't just parts of the game, because you have to look at this. So one thing I want to make sure is clear, even though the Bombers defense was fantastic, Nathan Rourke was not
That's what I was
bad.
trying to say.
He was not
like Nathan Rourke had 2 interceptions, and yeah, that's bad. Don't get me wrong. That's coming off of back-to-back 2 interception games now for him after having none to start the season. But he was still 64% on his completions, which is, again, you think, oh, that's not good because of everything like that. But he still threw for over 278 yards, and the Lions were able to charge down the field for a majority of this game up until probably that last quarter of play, really. And even then, it was still really entertaining, this game, because you still thought that at any point the Lions could turn it on because of the skill that they have. At this, we thought this game, me and Carter, we thought this game was just going to be, without a doubt, the Lions showing that they're the new kids in the block, and the Bombers have something that they have to actually prepare for again, a new challenge. This just reminded the Lions that the path to the Grey Cup runs through Winnipeg. No way you cut it. Winnipeg is number 1 in the CFL. They will have been to start this season, regardless of the criticism that both me and Carter and all of you have given them. And this game, they solidify themselves in that spot, in my opinion.
Yep.
Like Zach Collaros, we didn't even get into him yet. Zach Collaros was immaculate almost in this game, throwing for 288 yards, 3 touchdowns, longest throw of the game, 31 yards,
like you said,
76%. Great.
And like you just said there, 288 yards. Nathan Rourke was 278.
I
He's
know.
only 10 yards behind with 5 less attempts. Nathan Rourke had a better average yards per attempt than Collaros did. So that clearly shows that Nathan Rourke was not the problem here. And you know what? I feel like the real difference maker for the Bombers is that D-line that was great before was even more great, more fantastic.
Absolutely.
The D-line were the defensive stars for the Bombers here. They were really lights out here. And I felt like Rourke had a lot more pressure than he was used to. And you know what? I actually think that brought out the best of him in some cases. That got him some experience
Absolutely,
making some good
absolutely.
scrambles. And the thing that I really thought was the biggest difference maker between the prior games and this games in terms of the Bomber defense was that the defensive backs were much tighter on their guys. And I feel, and that very much led to them having more success. With, I mean, even those few touchdown passes that Rourke did that got past them, there's no way those DBs were making anything out of
I
that.
know.
And they did it. I think they truly played the best we could, and it is amazing also to see how Dalton Schoen has continued to play absolutely excellent. You know, it's kind of crazy to think how much a rookie can be an impact on your team, and we're seeing it from Nathan Rourke, and we're seeing it
No,
from Dalton Schoen.
absolutely, absolutely.
Rookie's
This
having a good year
this
this
is
year.
it's been great, and I can't wait to see how what's week 6 will bring, and to see what me and Carter think in week 6 coming up for the CFL's 2022 season. Make sure to check out the week 6 previews that we will be putting up very, very shortly. So with that being said, from both me and Carter, thank you so much for watching this video. We hope you enjoyed it. Let us know what your thoughts were and what your favorite moments from the past week of CFL football was. We'd love to hear them in the comment section below. Make sure to subscribe, drop a like, check all the affiliate links down in the description below. Have a great rest of your day, and go Bombers go. All right. Dope. That's
How
mine.
long was that?
11 minutes.